How's everybody, and welcome to Gaming is Still Life. And I just want to give me a little bit of my impressions with my stock that I got. This is the final product right here. I do have a construction video about how long and how difficult it is to put together. It's not that difficult. But I do have some complaints. In the original instructions, if you look when I build it, it's going to have this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a wing nut. It's a plastic wing nut right here. Wait, right here. It's the same one that goes on this side, but it's supposed to be on this side. They're both on this one side. But the problem is this right here comes off now, and it snaps back on. But when the wing nut is over here, it overlaps, especially like if it's this in this when you tighten it, if it's like in this configuration, if you see, it overlaps the plastic just a little bit. So when you're blindfolded and you're trying to take this off and put this back on, what happened is I cracked it. See right there? I cracked it. Even though I followed the directions like they say and put the wing nut over here, if that wing nut is just, if the orientation when you tighten it, if it's like this, which it's still like that when I tightened it, so no matter how I do it, it's threaded that way. It's always going to interfere with this right here. So what I did basically is I sent them an email, and they said they would send me another one. Not a whole nother stock, but a whole nother part. Another thing is if you look at these little tabs right here that they give you, these are for holding the slinging. Okay, now the thing about this is they're kind of flimsy, they're kind of cheap, and the way that they're secured on right here to the back is this little piece of plastic that just goes through this ring and gets secured by being inside here when this gets tightened up, which is a very bad system. Now, if you look at these parts right here, this part right here, this part right here, and this part right here are all 3D printed. You can tell by the texture. This part right here, these joints that unite, like this one, and this one, all these little plastic black parts right here are the cheapest Chinese parts they could find. These metal tubes, they're not finished at all. They came with sharp edges on them. So they didn't even take the time to like just file them down just a little bit. And basically, my estimation is this is under $20 to make. Probably even cheaper than that in the parts. I paid $125, I think it was, something like that. I'm very unsatisfactory. Now, if you have the straps that they come with you, all they do is get in the way. When you're in the middle of battle, and even if you got the straps on, they still kind of get in the way. They just snag on things. They get in the way. I just took them off. Okay, there's no reason to have straps on there. I just took them off, got rid of them. I did notice that these inside right here, the fit is kind of tight, but my controller has been slipping out of there. So I don't know if I'm going to have to figure something out for the controller. Maybe I have to like sand these a little bit and widen it up a little bit because I am getting some Odyssey grips for my controllers. And mostly I'm getting the grips is for this bottom part because these batteries right here, this design is terrible. It's one of the things I don't like about the mixed reality, Windows mixed reality headsets is this feels so cheap. It's just like a cheap controller. This is my biggest complaint about the Samsung Odyssey. But I have a video coming out on this later, and I have a couple ideas that I think Microsoft or Samsung at least, or somebody should pay attention to. But that's coming up in the future. I'm very dissatisfied with this because, and one of the things is when you look at reviewers that were getting this, like a few guys, I don't want to name names, but they made it seem like this was great. Like this was just so good. Another thing is when you're in VR, there, even though everything's tightened up, there's still flex in it. Like there's still flex. So when you got these controllers in, for example, this, even if it's all the way in, and there's a little bit of flex to it, and that little bit of flex, you know, just that little bit of flex, that little bit of movement right there can really, you know, move your aim. It's not, I'm just not satisfied with the build quality. I think it could have been a lot better. I think these pieces right here could have been a little bit more premium. I have a feeling that if I tighten them too much, they're gonna break. I understand that they have to go light. It does feel kind of heavy at the same time, but even if I would have got the carbon fiber one, only thing different is these parts right here are carbon fiber, and I don't think that's gonna add that much, make it that much lighter. I think a lot of the weight is in the screws, and these pipes add a lot of weight, but I don't think that a lot of the weight is in here because this is very light. This is just aluminum or some kind of like scrap metal or some kind of junk metal. The strap, I think, is the best part out of this whole thing. It's a pretty good strap. It's got a little bit of flex in here, which I do like. It comes in handy. I'm not sure if it's supposed to go just around my neck or if it's just supposed to go around like this completely. But I don't know. I think I like it like this the best. So I kind of just have it like that when I need it. I just bring it up and it's like always there. It did take a while to calibrate it. Now, this is what I ended up with, basically. But I did notice on some games, especially Onward, I noticed this, is when you're reloading, okay, you take out here, you grab, you take the clip out, okay, you can't get to the clip. Like, this is in the way. Like, usually, okay, it's like this, say. Okay, you can't get to the clip. Like, this is where your clip in the game, okay, is right here. All right, your clip is right here because your gun, the part that the scope and the lens is up here. So your clip, 9 times out of 10, is going to be right here, or right around here. The problem with that, especially when you have controllers, is I can't get to it. So I have to kind of stick it in through the side, and sometimes it'll catch. But getting it out of there is a tricky situation because it's meant to be like this. Okay? It's meant for when you're going to get the clip out, you just pull it out. Pull it out straight down. You can't do that when you have the stock. See? You go to pull the clip straight down and you can't pull it. Now, that's not with all games, but I did notice that it was more blatant with Onward. I have not tested it out with every single first-person shooter that I have. I think Pavlov is the only one I didn't test it out with. But overall, I am very dissatisfied with this. I'm still going to like work with it and maybe get better. I do understand that when I'm still getting used to it, so getting it to go back inside the magnetic things is very hard when you have your eyes closed. I can't see anything in when I have that headset on. I don't get any light leakage at all, so I can't see nothing at all. So, and another thing I've noticed is that sometimes, since this has flex in it, see all that movement? Just that little bit of movement moves. You'd be surprised how much it moves your reticle. And I didn't like that. I thought it'd be a more refined product, and it's not. But unfortunately, there's not that many options out there. It really isn't. Not that many good options. And the only other option that I saw that puts these on the bottom of the headset, the bottom of the frame like this, for Windows Mixed Reality, I don't think that would be. See, like, look, already my thing is coming off. I don't think that for Windows Mixed Reality that would be a good thing because first of all, these aren't flat like these don't lay flat on here like it does on the Vive. But even if they were to make brackets for it, I don't know if the gun stock would cover enough of the lights to mess with the tracking, because it does need these lights. And I noticed that even if you have this controller, or what if you have, okay, say this one is the one you're tracking, and it goes behind the other one, just playing around. And if it goes behind the other one, just playing around right here, it'll lose tracking when it loses, like, say about this much of the lights. So I don't know if that would even be an option for anybody who has Windows Mixed Reality. So far, dissatisfied with the product. I think it's just the name. They got a lot of YouTubers out there that's saying that this is the next thing from sliced bread, and I think that they're wrong. I think it's just cheap. Look at this. It looks like my dog chewed on it, even though I don't have a dog. Look at this. It's just so cheap. It's just so cheap, the build on it. Maybe $50 they should have sold it for, and that's them making money off of it. They're making hand over fist. So this product, I would stay away from. Maybe I might go to a half stock. You know, I might have to go to a half stock. I've only had it for a few days, but right now my first impressions are not good. I think you should really think about this purchase, because it's kind of expensive, and in the long run, I don't know if it's worth it. But that's just my opinion. All right. Thank you very much. Please hit that like button if you guys like this video, and I will see you next video. Oh, and before I forget, I think Warzone comes out, and I am going to do a stream where I'm going to be giving free keys to the game, and that should be tomorrow night when I get off work. So you guys keep an eye out for that, and please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and enjoy the assembly video of this little Protube project that I got. All right, and you guys have a great night.